We'll begin with a reign of terror. A few murders here and there.
Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome back to Blood and Guts, HHN. And we got some exciting news for you. We got some house announcements. We got some tickets that just dropped. With me, as always, Mad Matt. How's it going, Matt?
I'm doing fantastic, Evil Adam, because as you know, we're about a month and a half away from our favorite haunt event of the year, which is Halloween Horror Nights. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we got some exciting announcements to go through, and we almost can see now the event as a whole, minus the scare zone. So, how about yourself? How do you feel?
I'm pumped. I'm ready to get down there.
Yes.
I'm ready to go to the tour. I'm ready to do the houses. I'm ready.
Oh, you mean if only I can wish my life away and get there and just get away from work. Like, work won't miss me. I won't miss work.
That's right.
How about you, friends and fiends? You feel the same way? Let us know in the comments.
That's right. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We got some tickets that dropped and sold out, and several things have happened. So let's go down that road.
We'll go ahead and name the ticket options. The first we got is the famous Stay and Scream for $55. So that's went up again this year as well. So as you know, it's actually all these tickets have went up. I didn't go through and do the math as far as compared to last year, but it was a significant jump for every ticket. So
well, I know that in 21 we went there when it was it was
30. First year after COVID.
30. Yeah, first year after COVID was $30 for the Stay and Scream.
So so you're talking about almost 100% jump with that. So, but Stay and Scream, like I said, that's a beautiful ticket to have. Now, friends and fiends, if you already have a park ticket that day, that's not something you would need. This is for something if you want to get to the event a little bit earlier. They'll let you in. It's either 3 o'clock or 3:30, and then you can go into one of the pre-selected zones.
Holding areas.
Yeah, the holding areas. There you go. Our preference, we like New York. There's some good spots there. They also usually have like right outside of Simpsons and not a lot of seating there unless you're going in to eating in a.
Yeah, not a lot of shade there either. Right. That's why we like New York, because you got a good amount of shade in there. Between the buildings.
So let us know in the comments. I like to know like where is your go-to place for the Stay and Scream? Do you have any secrets or tips? Let us know. But moving right along, then we have the Rush of Fear Pass for $180, and also the Rush of Fear Pass with Express for $610. So a lot of coin, and like I said, I hope you did a lot of saving as we keep going. We got the Frequent Fear Pass for $240. The Frequent Fear Pass with the Express, $730.
Yep.
The Frequent Fear Plus Pass for $290, plus the Express, $840. The Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass, $400, with the Express, $1,070. And at this time, friends and fiends, the Unlimited Frequent Fear Pass with the Express and the Frequent Fear Plus with the Express are sold out. But the way the language is written in those is they have the words "at this time." So you may see some more come out, and they may raise the prices on it again. So if you're really looking for those and you haven't bought tickets yet, and you're wanting to hold out for it, you may see some more come out there.
Yeah, and those, like you said, those may drop. It may be something to where some openings become available, and you can ask for that at the gate.
Yeah.
If you want to be that bold and wait that long.
Yeah. I'm actually hearing I'm hearing too that the past few years the event has actually been seeing a boom in attendance.
Oh yeah.
And so this is their way of trying to price it out to where the attendance is still not as bad, but they're still making their money on it.
Oh, and they're going to make their money.
Oh, and they're going to make their money. And then I've also heard, too, that this is their way of pushing the single-day express passes by having a limited number of express passes for these packages. It's because they're making more money off a single day than they are selling it in a package. So
right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, this is something where you need to plan ahead and have your game plan ready. Once they drop, you got to be ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, man. As far as we're concerned, we always try to plan pretty much the year before. As soon as this year is over, we will begin planning for next year.
The cogs are rolling.
And even though we don't know the prices, which we can guarantee they're going to go up, and we don't know quite the dates of when we'll be able to attend, we go ahead and start planning as if we, did know those things. So
absolutely, like I said, that's a good pro tip. If you know you go every year, it never hurts to plan as far ahead as you can.
Yep.
That way, if something does come up, you can have the backup plan for the backup plan, as we always say.
Yep. And a little blood and guts little tip we'll throw your way is we like to do this sometimes. If we don't know exactly what dates we're going to be able to attend the event, we will go on and pre-book several hotels for what dates we think we're going to go, and then cancel them later on and stick with the one that falls in line with the date that we can go. So that's a little blood and guts tip for some of you travelers out there.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, we can move on to the next part of the show, which is like the big news for this week, which is another house announcement. So Evil Adam, we have Insidious, The Further. So let me know what's your initial thoughts on this house.
Well, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Insidious franchise. But what I do respect and what I do like about it are a few things. I like the fact that The Further has many demons and many layers. So the house hopefully doesn't get very repetitive as you go through it. I also like the different makeup effects. Each demon has a different attribute, and each demon has different powers and abilities. I like that about it too.
Right.
And I think that if they do practical makeup effects, masks, what have you, and kind of mix it up a little bit with these demons, I think you're going to see some good effects. And for me personally, last year I was not looking forward to Exorcist Believer. That was at the bottom of my hype list last year. But turned out to be a sleeper hit and really rocked us, and we ended up loving it. Right. So I'm hoping that we get something like that with this IP.
Yeah, honestly, you nailed it pretty good for exactly how I feel about it as well. I've only seen the first movie, and that was way back when it first came out in 2010, so I really don't remember anything about it. But if I watched it today, it'd be just like watching it brand new.
Right, yeah.
But with that being said, it's like we were discussing earlier, I didn't hate it, because if I hated it, I would remember some things about it and why I actually hated it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's definitely watchable. I mean, as far as it goes, it's not one that I'm going to put on every Halloween or even every other Halloween, but every once in a while, if I want a little something different, I would throw that on.
No, I'm definitely going to go back and at least revisit them and try to like watch them, because I know my kids hadn't seen it too, so it could be something that we can do together, and maybe they'll end up liking it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I know we were discussing this week too, like you almost hear from the diehard fans, it almost feels almost like a down year, but at the same time, I think we could have better IPs, like we were talking about earlier. I'd love to see Creepshow, The Thing.
Yeah.
Things of that nature.
Halloween 3, yeah.
Halloween 3, absolutely. And but on the other hand, I kind of see what they're doing, because The Quiet Place and this, both have made way more money than I actually thought until I went back and looked at it. So as far as box office numbers being sold, it makes sense. But now if you was to ask me and give me a survey, I'd still rather take like The Thing.
Oh, I'd take a classic any day.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's one good thing that they normally do with the event. And I know the rumors had it that Nightmare on Elm Street was supposed to come.
That I was stoked about.
I was too, and that would have been your classic for this year. So almost like every year, you almost have that good mix where you have a classic house, and then you have a bunch of the new IPs and things of that nature. So I'm like you, I'm holding out hope just because the backstories for all the demons kind of reminds me of 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
I'd love to
I
have.
like that. I like it when they don't just say, okay, here are different monsters for no reason whatsoever. We dive into these characters. Some are evil, some are not as evil, so on and so forth. I like that a lot, and I think that for me, if I had to do a hype right now, probably Quiet Place as far as an IP would be at the bottom, followed by Ghostbusters at 9, and then Insidious might even be a little higher on my hype. But we'll get to the hype later on.
Mine may change, especially if I go back and rewatch them. Right now, I'd have Insidious at the bottom just because I don't remember anything about it. Quiet Place is going above it for me right now, just because I recently watched the new Quiet Place movie and I liked it. Now, like I was discussing, I thought it was a good movie, but it'd never be one I'd probably revisit again. So it'll end up being one of those movies. If you ask me in 5 years, I probably won't much better.
Yeah,
but definitely, like I said, I think so far all the houses we've had all have potential to be great. There's not a single house I can point to right now that where I could say this is going to be an utter failure.
Right, yeah. And some of them might even creep up on you
Right.
and tap you on the shoulder like Exorcist did last year.
Absolutely. And I mean, I forgot to read the description for it, but it has, enter the further as demons try to ensnare you. The red-faced demon will lure you into his lair. Keyface will unlock your fears and expect more. So
yeah, so the bride isn't in there, and the wheezing demon, and there's several others, and all of them have their own unique makeups and character costumes, and I hope they really dive into that, because
I do too.
I want to see some of that.
That's one thing I am excited about, though, after we're discussing, like when we're actually talking about what the further is, how it's like that alternate dimension.
Yep.
That gives so much, so much space that they can explore with this house.
Oh, yeah.
And how they can, like, just do set designs and just really play with it.
Yeah,
and
lighting and smells, and they can really step on the gas with this one. And if, a lot of people last year were saying that Exorcist Believer, Blood Moon, those were your scary houses.
Blood Moon was like you were talking about how to creep up on it. That was my dead last in my hype list last year.
Yeah, because we thought it would kind of be like Coven a little bit.
Yeah, and that ended up being my favorite house. So it's like you said, Friends and Fiends, always go in with an open mind. It may not change your mind, but you never know what may happen, especially when you find out who designed the house, and if you actually keep track of those things.
What I really want to happen is with this house, I really want it to be the one that is every year the house that, like, okay, we're going to have one house that's funny. We're going to have one house that's gory. I want this one to be the one that, like, this one's the one that's going to scare the hell out of you. Like David S. Pumpkin's going to scare the hell out of you. I want it to be like that, but And then we're expecting, of course, the last announcement to be something Universal Monsters related.
Right.
And Friends and Fiends, after those announcements, then we can actually break it down for you and do our hype, where it stands. And I love doing the hype because we do the 1 through 10 hype, where they stand. And when we come back is the really fun part of we can see how they've changed.
Yeah.
So that's the really fun part.
And we'll definitely, like I said, we'll do the same with the scare zones as well, which is always fun. And I will be excited because I do anticipate whenever they do announce the Universal Monsters house this year, it'll either be that day or it won't be long after we'll get the dump with the scare zones, and we'll have the food, the rest of the merch coming out.
The merch, Nightmare Fuel, kind of the maybe Lagoon Show. Hopefully, knock on wood, we will get a Lagoon Show this year.
But it won't. I don't think it'll be long. I think we'll get it by the end of the month. If not, maybe a little earlier. You just never know.
Yeah, and it's all coming together, and we're almost to the event, Friends and Fiends. We're almost there, so keep your chin high. Yeah.
So be sure, Friends and Fiends, let us know. Are you excited about Insidious, Enter the Further, or is this an IP that you're just really not that excited about? Like I said, just let us know in the comments. Have you purchased your ticket packages yet? Which one did you get? Let us know.
That's right. And as always, remember, stay spooky, Friends and Fiends.
Let me know when it's on.
There we go, buddy.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
It's on.
We're set to pop.
Oh, it's on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on. Ghost in the Most, man.